one more episode, one more opportunity to listen to Coach Aleksandar Maksimov, right?
Yes.
And okay, Coach, thank you so much for joining me and have the opportunity to learn from you again, your experience, your background, your know-how, and now we are more, a little bit more specifically talking about your book. Besides coach, you are an author now, and thank you for the opportunity to come on, and I'm really excited to listen to your thoughts about your book. Okay, thank you.
Well, Igor, thank you very much for the invitation first. So basically, I can talk and I can present the book to the wider audience. The book is made to be as a mental framework for football players, coaches, and any ordinary people who wants to have a real opportunity and to know how to succeed in life. And I think it could be of very big help for especially younger athletes, not only in football and in any sport or any job, because all the people, we have the same or similar problems during our careers, and it's to ourselves how we will respond to that and how we will react to that and to take out the best of it.
All right, coach. Thank you. So before you start, I would like to show, the cover of your book. I think it's a very beautiful, very nice, and very interesting. You have here the opportunity to the game behind the game, right? The
Yes.
invisible game, mindset, as you said, decisions, and through course of a football career, average player waits for motivation. The elite player builds a habit. Makes total sense. Aleksandar Maksimov. So, coach, how would you like to start? Asking you, please. How can I say that? Why did it inspire you? To write this book. You have your UEFA B license. You have years of experience. And but it's not usual, right? It's not any coach or every coach that write a book. So why did it inspire you to I think I can put all this in a paper, let's say like this. So why did you inspire you, please?
Yes. Well, first, from the last time that we speak until now, I completed the course for UEFA Alpha, for UEFA A. So everything is done now. I'm officially finally with.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So look, honestly, for me, as I said before, football as a sport is not just a game that we go and we speak to the players. You run here, you run there. For me, the basic is to leave something behind you to try to inspire other people, other coaches, other players, and to give them the right path to succeed in the careers. Because I'm coming from the Balkans, but we have a lot of talented players here, but don't have the right mentality. And when they have the chance to go and show on a high level, the mentality or the process of building the player comes to light, and after 1 or 2 years they return and their career is basically over. So my idea was this is basically what I work and what I speak to the players who work with me. And of course I don't have the opportunity to work with thousands players in one training, but this is an idea to try to give them the same opportunity to learn something and to try to be better every day. And I think with the book, this is much more easier.
Okay, understand. Thank you, coach. And I would like to point 6 topics here about your book, and I would like to ask you about the first one. I think the main word here is mentality. It's a very interesting topic. You say the mentality and discipline needed for the elite football. So, what do you mean, especially for, let's say, young players, a 17 years old player that is, expecting to listen or to read your book. What do you mean when you say the mentality and discipline needed for elite football? What do you mean, please?
Look, for me, elite football is not built only on the talent of the player. It's built on the consistency, emotional control, discipline, professionalism, and the ability to perform under pressure every day. What I mean by under pressure could be in the training ground, could be in the gym, could be in private life, because a life of an athlete, elite athlete, or an athlete who wants to become elite is, every one of us have different path and different way how to deal with the things. And at high level, everyone have the talent. This is this is the reality, but the difference is usually mentality, habits, and behavioral standards. So when a young athlete since 15, 16 set the standards, follow them, even if something is not right on the path, he will succeed, or he will have bigger chance to succeed than someone else who will look for excuses. For example, I was playing with players which all the time was blaming others, and they never took responsibility for them or for the choices or everything. So for me, this is not the right way, and this is how the players should be educated through the academies, and even when they come young in the first team. So yeah.
Okay, I got you. And, you know, it's still in this topic. Uh, did you have an experience you could share with us about a bad mentality with a good player, maybe some player that you had before, that you look at the guy and say, wow, look, this guy is a beautiful technique, how he control, he pass, he reads the game, he see the passing lines, but doesn't have a good professional mentality. So did you have in your career, did you have an experience like that you could share, a good player, but not good mentality?
A lot, because even now the players that I see, that it's as I said, TikTok generation of players which they don't have the right mindset. They want the lifestyle of a football player, but I don't want to work for it. And me personally, I know a lot of players who had the amazing talent, they had the opportunities, but external things move them away from the right path. Is it's written in the book. Here is the bad decisions. Here is gambling addicts. Because when you're a young athlete, a player, and you come with a little bit of higher amount of money, this is how you will react to that, how you will invest in the right way, or you will invest it in the other way. So I had and I still have friends who had an amazing talent, but basically they didn't do anything with their lives because of those things. So what I see with those people is, as much as you want to help them as a friend, it's very difficult, because if they pass the age when they can change the habits or the lifestyle, it's very, very difficult, for example, to turn out a 30-year-old player than to turn out a 16, 17, 18, 20 years old player. So it is a very sad story, but um at the end of the day, everyone should take responsibility for the actions, and they could be good or bad example for the others. Depends how the others will will see it.
Yeah, I understand. I agree. You said in your book, young players should develop technically, physically, and psychologically, or
Yes,
psychologically.
yes,
So, my opinion, nowadays, especially with the new generation, the main point is psychologically. I see, uh, I see young players and young people in general. They have a very hard time to deal with frustrations.
yes.
So what do you mean, when you tell like technically, physically, and psychologically? What do you mean with that, please?
With me, the layers are very simple. As you said, development must be complete. By technically, in my opinion, the players must master the fundamentals under pressure, because in the next years the game will become faster and faster and faster, not only in the physical aspect but also in the brain, how the players will find the solutions, how they will think in the game, and how fast they will bring solutions or take actions. Doesn't matter if it's defensively, offensively, with or without the ball, how they will react and how fast they could solve the situation. The physically, they must build athletic habits. Also, it's recovery standards and discipline, because for me, recovery is number one in football. No matter the level, you can train as a beast. If you don't have the good recovery, the right mindset also to recover the mind, not only the body, it's very difficult to perform on the highest level. And in the last few years, we have a lot of examples with top class players, top class clubs who are under pressure, and we can see that the players on stages year by year getting a progress. So they react different to the same situations, but in a different season the reactions are different. So if a player looks deep into that, can learn a lot. And the last one, psychologically, they must learn resilience. This is for me one of the most important thing. Emotional stability, as also confidence and responsibility, which is responsibility in life. And these are all fundamental things that could help the player in general in life, not only in the pitch. So if you master all those things, or most of it, you have very big chances to have a successful life even after football. Even football we play until certain age. So this is if I might say, life habits that are essential.
Yeah, makes sense. And you said about recovery. Uh, I was thinking about nowadays we have so many distractions, and I believe if the player doesn't pay attention to these details, he cannot recover. Maybe physically, but not mentally. And internet, social media, so many distractions, and it's a very hard job for the coach to keep these guys focused on the real job. You know what I mean? Not focus on their social media, Instagram, or whatever, but focus on the job. Yeah, makes total sense. Okay, coach. So another one. Uh, your book says, the mistakes that stop talent players from progressing. I think this is huge because, every course you do, every symposium you go, everywhere you go and talk to coaches, everybody knows players that at the age of 13, 14, 15, they were like big promise. But the window, between 16, 17 and 21, 22, a lot of them just disappear. You say, what happened with this guy? He was a
Yeah.
kid, he was amazing. And then, so what do you mean when you say that, about the mistakes that stop talent players from progressing?
Um, I will say something very interesting. For me, talent alone is never enough as a coach, and this is the thing that I'm saying to all my players, no matter the age. And this is a very big mistake with many coaches that I've seen the way of interacting and working and guiding the players. Because when you guide the players, not just to say that, you need to work very hard. Yes, but how? How to work very hard on every player is different personality, different quality. They have different needs, and these are things that even should start from the grassroots, in my opinion, because the grassroots coaches are most essential and they're very important roles in the development of the players. And also, if they build the habits in a young mind, in the age where those kids are basically like sponges, they absorb everything. It's very easy when they come to under 13, 14, 15 to level up that and to move on. Many young players struggle with discipline, struggle with consistency, mentality, ego. Especially, I would say, I see a lot of players in Macedonia now. They have ego that they play in Barcelona or Real Madrid, and basically, you play in a elite youth league in a country which is not in the best top 10 countries in the world. You have normal system of development. You are good player. You have the potential to play, yes, on the highest level, but the ego is you're not Mbappe, you're not Neymar, you're not Modric. So even when I mentioned Neymar, if you compare Neymar and Modric, one is technically brilliant, maybe the best in the last 100 years, and the other one has all the other attributes that I spoke before: mentality, resilience, humble. So the thing is with uh, lifestyle out of football is much more important to them. Fake. I always say it's a fake life. You can't have the life that you see on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook with 15 years old. You need to work for it, and then, okay, be humble, make good things for yourself, make good things through football for other people, and you can have the privilege to enjoy good life. Who don't want a good life? But there are also other players who often depend too much on external validation, which is also a very big problem for me, especially in any country. To be honest, it is on a high level, but maybe because in some of the countries, for example, in the Balkan countries and in Italy or Germany or England, there is a lot of clubs, a lot of people, and it's not shown too much. But we have a lot of players who often seek validation from the parents, validation from apparently, managers that will bring them to Real Madrid for 5,000 euros, which these are things that elite football expose those instabilities very quickly. Even if it's not elite level of football, if it's a normal level of football, it will expose it with time, and it won't last long.
Yeah. You said about coaches that work in youth development and to help the kids to create a good habit, right? And I see a big problem because I agree with you, but at the end of the day, most of the academies they want the U12, U13 coach to win games. You know, if you don't win games, perhaps you are not a good coach. And I saw a podcast in Brazil. You probably know Palmeiras, right? The Brazilian club.
Yes.
And the guy in charge of the academy, he
Hmm.
said that couple months ago, a couple years ago, I don't remember this detail, but he fired one coach, the academy process, because he was doing everything to win games. And he said, I made clear to him, I want development. I wanted these kids good for the pros. I don't want these kids to win under 12, under 13 games. So he fired the guy. So, but I believe this is very small percent of the academies. And this is a big problem for coaches that are dealing with kids because, the pressure comes from a lot of sides. And if you don't win, even under 12, under 13 game, if you don't win, people start to look at you like, I don't know, maybe that's not a good coach for my kid. You know what I mean?
This is very very huge theme for talk, because look, one thing is very simple. If your club, as a club or academy, have the identity, it's very easy to build around it. Starts with the academy, to choose the right people, to choose the right environment, to choose people with ambitions. One thing also we as a coaches and our colleagues needs to clear with themselves, what do I want to become? Do I have the quality, the capacity to work with grassroots, to work in the under 15 academy, under 21 first team? Am I a developer coach? Am I a coach who want to win games? Okay, maybe that coach had the quality to make something to win the game, but as you said, this is not for under 12s. Under 12s should learn to enjoy the football, to learn the habits that we speak about, and then to go in Barcelona, in Arsenal, in Man United, and then to express themselves and win the games. Because again, this is a ego from a coach side. I want to win games. Okay, everyone want to win games, but in the right way. Play the right football, develop the players. Trust me, even if you don't win games in the first 6 months or 1 year, the next season you will be unbeatable if you put the right habits with the players. This is a process not only that is implementing in the in the academies. It's the same in the first team, but you need to have, first of all, a club identity, a coach identity, to know who you are, what you want, and how you will do it. After that, it's only you need to have good recruitment, good players, to choose the right players for the club with the right mentality, with the right character, and the puzzle will come at one.
Yeah, yeah. As you said, if you have the mentality, the concept, the idea, the identity, the club is gonna back you up.
Yes.
And then, yeah, that's the main point. I think that's the most difficult. The club back you up. Like, man, you are a U12, U13 coach. Don't worry, you don't have to win games. I need you to develop players. It's not easy. It looks like simple, but it's not so simple.
It's not because a lot of, for example, in Macedonia here, a lot of private schools, academies, they do basically that because they want to attract other players, and unfortunately the players, the parents are not well educated, that they need to understand that not only in Macedonia, in general, in the Balkan countries, and with a lot of academies is like that. But the biggest problem is that the players, okay, they're kids, they're not educated, they're starting to be educated in a sport way, but the parents, they don't see how my kid, if have the talent, could be, level up through work. For them, the most important thing is the kid to go in a tournament, to win the tournament, to post pictures from the kid. Oh, this is a new Messi. It's not new Messi. Messi's won. So they're not, they want instant success. No one see the work behind. This is also the name of the book, the game behind the game. No one sees it. And if you don't have the right coaches in the grassroots, in the under 15, under 16, under 21, you can have a diamond in the player, but at the end it will end up as a rock. Nothing. He will never play football. This is the sad truth of football. So this is many things needs to be in common in one, so we make something.
Yeah, perfect. Makes total sense. The next topic is interesting because if you go for if you go to YouTube and take a look, you see in Brazil, I saw in Portugal, under 12 games and parents fighting because of kids, you know what I mean? I believe, you can see this in Spain, it's probably all over the place. Parents fighting because in a under 12 or so, game. And in your book, you say here, the role of parents in the development process. So makes total sense. Can you please explain a little bit this topic?
As you said, what you've mentioned before, it's basically happening in our country, and this is sad. And but all of that is happening because of the things that we spoke before, and this is the result. So for me, parents have enormous influence because the best environments are usually built around support, patience, discipline, emotional stability, not pressure or unrealistic expectations. And trust me, I've seen a lot of parents putting enormous pressure to the players, and they are not even close to be real with the quality and the expectation for the players. And this is very sad because a lot of parents just see the kid as a bag of money. And a couple of years ago I had one parent, and he was something not satisfied with the minutes of the player, and actually was a very quality goalkeeper with very bad habits. And I think 1 or 2 games he didn't start the game. Then the parent came, and he, in a very arrogant way, he said to me, "Oh, do you know I've sold one apartment for my son to become a goalkeeper?" I said to him, "Okay, go and sold another one, and then take him to Barcelona, no problem, if you think that the kid is that good." But the kid, yes, have the quality, the talent, have the lack of the other things because of you. And in terms of character, in terms of building that good environment around the player, you're doing the totally opposite. And I said, "I'm sorry that I'm this direct, but if I'm not direct, I will." It's not good for me. This is the reality. I'm sorry, and I don't know if the player still plays football now, but parents should help to build the person first, not only the footballer, because if you have the person, the personality built, it's much easier than to build the other aspects of the football, of the game.
Yeah, it's I like to say that soccer, football, is a frustration machine. Is a frustration factory. When you play, you have so many frustrations from yourself. You make a mistake. From your teammate, he makes a mistake. The coach do something is a frustration for the player. The referee is a frustration for the player. Everything is a frustration. You have to learn how to deal with the frustration. Don't lose your mind and keep your focus and do your job. So, and then this is, us as a coach trying to help the kids, the players. And then outside of the field, you have the parents. No, you are the little prince. You are the king. You are the one. You are the new Messi, and this and that. So, you pull for one direction, and they pull for another direction. So it's difficult, And I think again, your topics are very good because they go straight to the problem. A lot of problems are from the neck up, you know, the neck up, and it's sad, but that's truth.
Most of them.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
In the book also is one chapter uh, for choosing the people, building the right environment, which is, as you said now, very important, and decision making. Because I always speak very, very clear, very open to the players. Look, no matter what happened, tomorrow I will not be the coach, you will not be the coach, it will be someone else. You don't know how that person will treat you, will put you in a situations, what the referee will blow or whatever. You need to find a way to channelize those things out, to be steady here, and always to make the decisions yourself, not your parents, not the coach, not the manager. Uh, uh, for me, and I speak also to the players. For example, a player come to the team. If I don't give you a plan for your role, for the club, for development for yourself, development for the club, for the team, in the period, for example, 1 2 years, depends on the contract, then you should question the not the quality but the will of the coach to work and the ambitions of the club, also ambitions of the coach. And this is what is very important for the players. I've seen a lot of players which, when they come and speak with me, I say to him, this and this we need to do, you must do, otherwise you don't play. But after 2 years you will be different player, after 6 months you will be different player, because every player is different with the accepting the new things, understanding the way of work, and this is another team. But they don't come because they have another option when they go to another club, another coach, which will say, oh, as you said, you're Maradona, you will play 90 minutes. How you will play, why you will play, how I will get the best out of you in that position. So they go, maybe they play the minutes, maybe not, but the development is not even 1% higher. So even now when I speak with players who are working with me or who call for advice, I always say, you go in a club where you will see development, and then you fight for your place. If you have an opponent, a teammate which is better from you in some things, okay, use it as an inspiration to be better than him. It's very simple. It's you must be competitive. So yeah.
Yeah, that's this is the part that listen when you listen some truth, but you don't like, and spoiled kids, especially if the parents are spoiled there, and then you come and you say the truth, doesn't match. From one side, it's like you are very good, you are very good, you are so good, and then comes you and say, hey, you have a long journey ahead of you. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, my mom said I'm very, very good. You say I have a long journey ahead of me. So it's a war. It's difficult, but yeah, that's a reality. That's
Unfortunately,
reality. Yeah.
yes.
Okay, coach. So our next topic is interesting here: professional standards and expectations inside European academies. So, like in South America, it's very usual. We can listen, some stories about kids 17, 18, 19. They start to dream. People start to say, you go to Europe, and then when they go, they bounce back. You know what I mean? They go, stay there for a couple months, and then they come back, and because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. So this topic I think is very interesting because people around the player and the player should understand how things works. You know what I mean? So what do you mean when you say professional standards and expectations inside European academies?
Look, the academies, and not only the academies, the clubs, the first teams, they expect discipline, punctuality, professionalism, respect, consistency, and which is for me most important thing is high daily standards, because after I will say I will speak about what you were speaking before, about the people who are guiding the player through the process, for example, from South America to Europe. But talent may open the door for the player, because to come from South America, for example, in Europe, you must have the talent, but behavior determines how long the player stays inside that environment. And this is one topic that I personally speak a lot with agents, with coaches, with the players, because probably that player was scouted or bring by some agent in Europe. So the agent should know in which environment brings the players, not just to get the money for the transfer or something. You need to have the players, your own kid, if you know what I mean, to take care of him in the best possible manner. It's not just one transfer. This player maybe have potential to stay and leave legacy in Europe for the next 15 years. And for example, players from Brazil, from Argentina, from all those countries, they have different mentality. They need more warm mentality and environment in the club. So you can't put Brazilian player in third division in Germany, for example. This is from 10 clubs, 9 are different environments, top level, top professionalism, but not a good environment for a player from Brazil, for example. From one player out of 10 from Brazil could stay in an environment like that. And these things are very, very important. And in the book, it is basically guidance how a player could see what is real for me in this moment, and to try to make the best decision. Sometimes even if you make the best decision on paper, you don't know how the road will be in the during the you're staying there. So you need to be adjustable, to be adaptable, and to try to take out the best, to learn from everything.
Yeah, sometimes looks like it's simple, but true story. Brazilian player, I don't know if you remember him. He played the World Cup in '94 here in the United States. His name is Viola.
I
He
think
was a forward guy, like number 9.
I think
And yeah, Viola, he tells that when he went to Spain, He was, he came from a very poor family in Brazil, and then he was playing Spain. He couldn't eat. He said, I couldn't eat that food. But to me, completely different from everything I had before. So he started to eat cookies every single day, cookies, cookies, a lot of cookies because sugar helps you, and then cookies. He starts to feel bad. He starts to lose energy during practice, and he tells you laughing, but it's serious. Sometimes, as you said, players must be aware about a lot of things, not only the field aspect.
True.
Because just a few details, culture, food, environment, weather, a lot of
Ev-
things can, damage your career, damage your day, right?
True. This is essential. That's the whole package of the player. Food and good habits and mentality, and this is what is important.
That's true. A lot of new players, young players, they have no clue. Their parents have no clue, and then sometimes they lose a good opportunity because of that. You know?
Again,
Yeah,
the thing is that they trust to the wrong people.
yeah,
Everyone,
yeah, yeah.
is tempted by the silver tongue offer from a guy which wants a certain amount of money to take the kid to a top club with the words "you're the best," and they choose that and they fall down. And if they choose the words of "if you work hard, you will have chance," not "you will succeed," you will have chance to go on a top level. So they must understand. I always make speak to my players. Okay, we are environment where we don't have the amount of quality players technical as in Brazil or Argentina with a natural talent. So I said you should use that, because imagine you're born in Brazil. The level of the people who can't afford even to go on a trial somewhere is sad for the talent that they have. So you need to respect where you are, the opportunities that you have, and to work hard, not to spoil it.
Yeah, make total sense. All right, coach. Uh, my last topic here about your book. Uh, you say about the complete pathway from youth football to high performance professional environment.
Yeah.
So, what do you mean from that, please?
Look, the transition between the youth and elite football is much more demanding than the most people think. The gap is not only technical or physical. Of course, it depends on the player development in the stages before, but it is psychological. Players must adapt or be used to adapt to pressure, competition, tactical demands. This is also a problem. Professionalism, which we mentioned before, and responsibility very, very quickly. If they didn't work on a top level in the academy before, so they have the base for those things, and only a small percentage successfully handle the pressure uh, from the process on a long term. And this is how they should be educated during the academy training and the environment, because also for me it's very important in the academies to have high level of competitiveness. This is number one, to be competitive. You can be friends outside of the field for sure. This is this is why football is, but in the field you must be competitive, you must be a fighter. So also in the mentality there is one interesting topic in the book: who are you outside of that, and who are you and how the people sees you when you're not going well, when you you have dropped down in the form, how you will react, the silent leaders, these are most valuable players. So this is my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think it's important for especially young players to understand. Your book tells about it, and that's how what happens. Sometimes a kid is in a club since 10 years old, and then this kid plays in a club 10 years old, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then let's say 16, he goes to a big club in Europe. This kid must understand that once he goes to a new club in Europe, it's not like the former club, like everybody, oh, come here, man, we love you. I saw you 10 years old. No, it's over. Now it's a war, because it's a lot of talent players fight for one spot. You
You go
know,
into the lion's den.
that's true.
Direct.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I think this is very important for people to read and try to understand, how real it is. It's like a funnel, a funnel,
Yes, yes, yes.
and it's really time. It doesn't matter how talented you are, because if your kids, a young player, go to a big club, this big club signs with 40, 50 million euro player. So if you play in the same position of this guy, it's gonna be tough for you to have a chance. You know what I mean?
Yes, but also I said from the other side, yes, it will be tough, but maybe if you're smart, that player will make you much better, much faster. It is how you react for that. Because for me personally, as a coach, I'm happy if I have pressure, if I have something like that. So it's how you decide how you will react to the what is thrown into you. It's again, it's always connected to the mentality and the brain and the will to succeed.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember Seedorf? Clarence Seedorf?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, he said when he played for Botafogo in Brazil, he saw kids that were very smart and other kids that were not so smart. So the smart kids, the 17, 18, 19, they try to pay attention and learn from him habits, how train, how have a breakfast, how to eat, how to recover, the mentality, all these things. And but other kids like
yeah.
as you said, the mentality.
It's
Yeah.
look, this is something which is personal. I always say you can't force anyone to take something from you. With force, you can take something from someone. So again, it's up to them. If you have Seedorf and not learn from him, then put your boots on a tree and don't play football. Go home, sleep, play Sony, no problem. So it's their choice how they will react again to the good or bad things that life and football throw to them. So if you complain all the time instead of finding the way to get the best out of it, it's your problem.
Okay. All right, coach. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap up here. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and have this kind of conversation, because it's the kind of conversation that can help a lot, young players. Also, I believe, this book is important for parents, people that at some point are around young players, young coach, maybe, someone that is, I want to be a coach. I'm studying to be a coach. I'm gonna apply for my C license or anything like this. I wanna have an idea. I wanna see different opinions, backgrounds, reflections. So I think it's a very good, suggestion to read your book. So I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is always mine, because for football we can sit and speak 5 weeks. So that's the core idea behind the book, as I said before, because the football eventually will end, also for the players, but the identity remains how you build yourself through football. Football is only one tool in your life to build yourself as a person, and then eventually move on, and you need to live out of something. So I think is as I said, a mental framework, a reference for players, for coaches, for even normal people, even the people who works, for example, in the supermarket, to open their mind and to see the things differently. And yeah, it's I don't my idea is not to make millions out of the book, but I want to to touch a lot of people who actually have the wish and will to succeed on the highest level.
Yeah, yeah. It's if you pay attention, if you go for details behind the scenes, there's a game. It's a very tough game happening behind the real game people see on TV. You know what I mean? That's true.
People see the final product. They see the chocolate, but they don't see how the chocolate is made. It's packed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
true. All right. Okay, coach. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
pleasure was mine. Hope to see you soon again.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Have a great day, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.